Quick Tip Tuesday, preparing for a purchase. If you are buying a property or a home, there are a lot of decisions you're making right now, right? Not only are you trying to find the perfect and ideal property, but then you're getting it under contract and you have all these timelines and deadlines for things such as financing or appraisals or inspections, survey, you name it. But then what happens after that point? What are your plans? How are you structuring things? How are you setting them up? So there are a few things that I want you to consider beyond just this immediate acquisition of that property. Depending on the price point and the use of this property. So if we're talking about anything other than residential, if we're talking about commercial investment or land, there may be income that is going to be generated off of this property. Or you're looking for income generating opportunities, which I can help you identify those. You may need to set this up not as an individual or as you and your spouse, maybe as an LLC or a corporation that needs to be formed to best give you protection and maybe some tax benefits and things of that nature. So we want to think about that long term and what's going to happen in that next step. Consulting with an accountant or a CPA to figure out what the best manner is in doing that. We can also need to consult with an attorney. They're going to give you advice on how things will flow, because the last thing we want to do also is just make a purchase and then we think we're going to do it later and it doesn't happen, right? And we all are going to face the inevitable. At some point, we are going to die, and we have to think about what's going to happen after that. Are we setting up a legacy? How is that going to transfer? How are we going to avoid probate for our heirs? And those are huge decisions, and oftentimes after we make a purchase, we think we're going to do it later and we put it off. If you're buying a home, or it's going to be a smaller property, or it's not going to generate income, and you don't have to set up all these other advanced facets of that operation down the road, you still want to consider how this is going to pass on to your heirs. So if you don't want to set up a trust, maybe there's a beneficiary deed. So consulting with an attorney to figure out which of those routes is best suited for your particular situation is imperative as well, especially if you are a single person. You want to make sure that you have a beneficiary figured out and how you're going to transfer that ownership. If you are talking about a legacy and you want to pass this down for generation to generations, there are some other ways that you can go about doing that. So the biggest thing is just protecting your asset and making sure that your wishes beyond your life are fulfilled. And also just addressing what happens maybe if you become disabled or you can't physically make decisions anymore due to an accident or some kind of health situation. So there's a lot of planning that goes into buying as well, and I'm here to help. So if you have any questions or need some guidance or connecting with other professionals to get the ball rolling on how to best set up your legacy, don't hesitate to call, text, message, comment below, or stop by and see me. Talk to you soon.